Located 80 miles off the rugged western coast of mainland Scotland is the Flannan Isles, a collection of 7 tiny rocky specks of land. Among these isles or islands, the tallest and largest is Eilean Mor, home of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. For over 7 decades, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse has served as a beacon of safety for ships navigating the treacherous waters of the northern Atlantic. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers made their customary log entries for the day, before mysteriously disappearing without a trace. Was it a tragic accident, an unexpected turn of events, or something altogether more mysterious? Hello and welcome to TTHL. Today we explore the mysterious vanishing of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse Keepers. On December 15, 1900, a steamer ship en route from Philadelphia to Leith, Scotland, encountered an unusual sight passing just 6 miles north of the Flannan Isles around midnight. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse, which stands at a towering height of 75 feet and sits at 330 feet above sea level, seemed to have failed to emit its flashing light sequence. This was especially noteworthy because even in inclement weather, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse is easily visible from sea, primarily due to its location near the highest point of Eilean Mor. The captain of the passing steamer ship made a note of this into his log, and 3 days later, on December 18, upon their arrival at Leith, reported their observation to the Northern Lighthouse Board, which is responsible for overseeing marine navigation aids along the coastal areas of Scotland. A plan was promptly set into motion to send the relief vessel or lighthouse tender, the Hesperus, which was already scheduled to reach the Flannan Isles Lighthouse by December 20th. Unfortunately, adverse weather conditions prevented the ship from leaving port, causing it to arrive 6 days late on December 26th at around noon. Upon its arrival, several alarming observations were made by the captain and crew. There was no flag flying on the flagstaff. No supplies were present on the landing stage, and most unsettling of all, none of the 3 stationed lighthouse keepers were there to welcome them. James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald McArthur, who were supposed to be on duty at the time, were nowhere to be seen. Jim Harvey, the captain of the Hesperus, made efforts to reach them by sounding the ship's whistle and launching a flare, but there was no response. A boat was deployed with Joseph Moore, a relief keeper, and McCormick, the ship's second mate, along with several other seamen. Upon reaching the landing stage, Moore was the first to go ashore alone to investigate. What he encountered was deeply unsettling. The entrance gate and main door were still shut. The beds remained unmade, which was very unusual, and the lighthouse's clock had stopped ticking. This was significant because lighthouse keepers relied on their clocks not only to ensure the light was flashing correctly, but also to record the timing of any important events. Moore returned to the landing stage, and with McCormick and several seamen, ventured back to the lighthouse to investigate further. Upon entering the lighthouse, they observed the lamps had been diligently cleaned and refilled. Additionally, a set of oilskins, typically used for crafting waterproof clothing, had been left behind, which were invaluable to lighthouse keepers. Despite conducting a comprehensive search of the entire island, there was no indication or clue as to where the lighthouse keepers may have gone. Moore and 3 other volunteers, MacDonald the buoymaster, and seamen Lamont and Campbell, remained on the island with Moore to manage the lighthouse and keep the light in operation, while the Hesperus and her remaining crew continued to abandon Scotland. Later on in the evening of December 26th, Captain Harvey of the Hesperus sent a telegram to the Northern Lighthouse Board saying that a terrible accident had occurred at the Flannans, and that the 3 keepers, Ducat, Marshall, and MacArthur, had all vanished from the island. In addition, the telegram pointed out that the clocks had stopped, and other evidence suggested that the accident likely occurred about a week ago. The telegram also said that it appears the unfortunate men may have been blown over the cliffs or drowned while attempting to secure a crane. The following day, the men who had been left on the Isle of Eileen Moor searched every corner of the island for signs as to why the lighthouse keepers had gone missing. The east landing was undisturbed, but the west landing showed significant signs of recent storms. The box for holding the west landing mooring ropes and tackle, 100 feet above sea level, was broken and its content had been thrown about the area. Iron railings were bent and torn, some from its concrete foundation, and a massive rock weighing over a ton had been moved. In addition, more than 200 feet above sea level, the turf along the edge of the cliff had been torn away more than 33 feet from its edge. Upon receiving the telegram from Captain Harvey, the Northern Lighthouse Board initiated an official investigation into the unusual occurrences at the Flannan Isles, including the unexplained disappearances of the lightkeepers. The inquiry began on December 29th, when Robert Muirhead, a superintendent from the board, arrived at the Flannan Isles to uncover the truth behind this mystery. What intrigued Muirhead the most was the vanishing of Ducat, Marshall, and McArthur, as he had personally recruited all 3 lighthouse keepers and had a personal connection with them. After completing his investigation, Muirhead concluded that all 3 men had been on duty until dinner time on Saturday, December 15th. Marshall and Ducat had gone down to secure a box filled with ropes and equipment, stashed in a crevice about 110 feet above sea level. It's possible McArthur, while still in the lighthouse, saw a series of massive waves approaching the island and ran down to warn his friends, but the massive waves had surged up the rock face, sweeping them away with incredible force. This theory fits with the oilskins found inside and McArthur's coat still on its peg. However, it might not explain the closed doors and gate. Another theory, based on the experience of a lighthouse keeper, suggests that one man might have been washed into the sea, and the others, trying to save him, were washed away by rogue waves as well. And finally, there is a psychological theory. Some believe McArthur's well-known volatile temperament could have led to a fight near the cliff edge, causing all 3 men to fall to their deaths. Now, whether any of these explanations brought any comfort to the families of the lost keepers is something we may never know. James Ducat left behind a wife and 4 children, while Donald McArthur had a wife and 2 children. No bodies of the missing lighthouse keepers were ever found. To this day, the disappearance of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse keepers remains a mystery. Was it a dreadful accident, a twist of fate, or could there be a deeper, mysterious layer to this tale? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What's undeniable is that this incident cast a long, haunting shadow over the lighthouse's history, and its mystique endures even now. If you found this video informative, please consider showing your appreciation by liking it and sharing it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on any upcoming content. Until next time, thanks for watching.